Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adobe Live. I'm your host, Julia Masalska, and I'm joined with the wonderful Carra Sykes. Carra, say hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome, everybody in the chat. I see we have Ferry, Cody, Steve, Andreas joining us. We have Umakorn and Sean. Cool. So many lovely people. If you're joining us from YouTube, make sure to head over to be.net/live. This is where we're going to be reading the chat and you'll get to, the chance to ask questions live, and Carra will give you some really interesting answers. And hopefully, we can give you some insight on illustration. Today's stream is all about illustration. And yesterday, Carra already started working in Illustrator and doing some amazing summer patterns. So let us know if you all are, back from yesterday. If you have watched yesterday, let us know in the chat. Also, let us know where y'all are tuning in from. Steve is saying, I like Carra's hat. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I loved all the illustrations, honestly, but I think I love the slippers, the watermelon slippers. Hi, Paloma. Hi, Faraz. Hi, Paco. Thanks for joining us, everyone. All right, Carra, take it away. I want you to give a little intro for everybody who's just joining us today and let us know what we're going to be working on today. And then let's jump right into it.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you for everyone who joined yesterday. My name is Carra Sykes, and I am an artist. And I'm excited to be here to finish up a pattern we were working on yesterday, Summer Vibes. And it kind of gotten taken over by watermelon, which is making me want to eat watermelon all stream, but y'all might not be able to hear what I'm saying. So yeah, we've been working on this pattern and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Cool. Oh my God. Yeah, so everybody has been loving the glasses, and we have a sunscreen, we have a juice package, we have an amazing piece of watermelon that's looks delicious. I totally agree with that. We have Sean joining us from Germany, and Paloma just ate some watermelon. Super cool. I wish I had some watermelon right here. Maybe after I'll go to the store and buy myself some watermelon.
I know, I need to go to the store and buy some.
Cool. Yeah, we had some really interesting discussions yesterday about putting watermelons on the grill and about all the summer things that you do, like grilling. So let us know in the chat also what you all love doing during the summer. Amy's here. Hi, Amy. I need those sandals to be real. Yes, we were talking about it yesterday. It would be so great if they were actually a real product. Yes, and Brittany's saying, love the colors. And Biola is saying, just bought a huge watermelon from Costco. That's what I need to do too. I love it. And Umakarn loves the sandals as well. Cool. Yes. So Carra, do you want to kind of talk through your process just a little bit, just for everybody who is new here and wasn't here yesterday, who is new to illustration and Illustrator and doesn't know how to start off with an illustration, just, how to get started?
Of course. Yeah. So my process is kind of a little different every time. As you can see here, I brought in some sketches that I did in fresco, and these are kind of helping guide me as I illustrate in Illustrator, but you don't even have to bring anything in. You can literally start from scratch, kind of start with shapes and build like that. But for this stream, I was a lot more organized than I normally am on my personal stream. So I have sketches, and now that I'm seeing that, it actually has helped me create this project a lot better than just working without sketches, but that's personal preference. And then kind of playing with color. Yesterday I was showing everyone, I actually use Adobe Color to pick some things. You can go to color.adobe.com and you can start to look at these color palettes that are already created. So you don't really have to worry too much about if you feel like you aren't comfortable with color. Maybe this is a way to discover that. And they've got different options, which I always love showing people this because I recently discovered this and it's been a big help in developing color palettes for me. So if you like illustration, you can go and look at those trends and graphic design and fashion. I use fashion a lot because I like fashion. So
yeah, I love it. Have you ever tried Adobe Capture on mobile?
I just recently, someone told me about that and I tried it out. I was playing with the gradient feature, which I thought was really, really cool, but
Yeah,
I haven't like fully
yeah.
used it yet.
It's awesome. It's so fun. So you can literally download it on your mobile phone or tablet, whatever you have. And then you can go and with your camera, you can live see color palettes around you. So sometimes what I do, and it's also a nice tip to kind of collect color palette inspirations, is if you go, let's say, to the store and you see packaging that's where you really love the color palette, for example, you can take capture. Open it up on your phone, open the camera, and you can save that color palette to your libraries. And then you can open it either on your iPad or on a desktop whenever you work in Illustrator. So that's also super, super fun. Definitely recommend experimenting with.
I love that because I'll be out and about. One time we were at IKEA and they had like these beautiful colored chairs and I just took a picture of them. And now that you reminded me of Adobe Capture, I need to go and try that picture out and see what color palette comes out.
Oh yeah, you can also take an existing photo or any inspiration from your phone. You can just open it up and then it will by default kind of select the color palette, but you can still adjust it. So you can even take screenshots of things and then pull out the color palette of that and add it to your inspiration library. That's also something I do a lot. Yeah, so what's the next step in your process after you kind of pick the color palette and you already have your sketches pulled into Illustrator?
So after I pick color palette and sketches, I start to work with, for this specific project, I'm using the Blob tool mostly. So you can find that over here in your tools section. If you hit B, you'll get the brush tool, which gives you strokes and things like that. Oh, the jeans are back. It gives you strokes so you can change the sizing of that and things like that. But for me, I like the Blob brush because it gives you a bit more of that kind of human quality to vector art. So the imperfections in my hand, I don't have, if I don't put the, I forget which tool it is that helps kind of smooth out your lines, but in Photoshop, but I don't have like a perfect hand. So it gives you little squiggles and it's more, I don't know, it feels more like this. I can't describe it in a word, but
it's like smoothed out, right? And I believe, can you actually adjust the smoothness I know you can do that in the pencil tool. Oh yeah, there we go.
Here we
go.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you can change and this is something that's really great too, like customize every tool you use because, it comes standard really nice, but if I wanted to change things like the angle or the roundness, I like to keep mine pretty much like mono weight, but you can change things like keep selected. I do that with my other one, but definitely dive into the tools and figure them out and how they work for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree. And another thing that I really love using in Illustrator is the properties panel. So it's a panel that kind of shows you the options for any tool that you select and work with, or even if you select any object, it shows you basically the most relevant settings for that specific thing that you're doing, which is also super fun and very productive. And Amy's saying, oh dang, never seen Adobe Color, how cool. Yeah, so color.adobe.com, you can find a lot of amazing inspirations, as Carra was showing. And Brittany is also finding so much inspiration with Adobe Color. Yeah, totally agree. And Kimmy is using it all the time, makes picking colors easy. Yeah. Cool. Nathan is saying, I started thinking about the joke cage-free watermelons and realized I've actually seen the opposite. Oh, that's funny. Okay. And Paloma is saying, I find myself taking pics while I'm out on my walks using Capture to pull colors from flowers. I haven't used them for any designs yet, but nature is so vibrant, so saving it for later. Oh yeah. You know what I did once? I think it was around October last year. We had a lot of pumpkins around in the stores, and I just took a picture of different colored pumpkins. And then I used that to create like a Halloween themed card. So you kind of get the Halloween colors of different, you know, colored pumpkins, those warm tones. So another really cool kind of thing with
I
Capture.
love that.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, colors can be so fun. Awesome.
Do y'all have any color suggestions for the hat? Because I don't know. I mean, we've got this. Maybe the top part could be a different color. I don't know.
Or any pattern on it? Any sandal pattern on the hat?
make a pattern within a pattern.
I would love that. I would love that. I would like literally do stuff like that just for fun. Or maybe like a little you know, some bucket hats have like a little logo in the front.
Oh yeah.
And it could be something, it could be maybe be a watermelon or the sun or maybe a sandal. Oh yeah, whatever.
Okay,
just an idea.
Gonna try that out. I love that idea. Let's put a little logo on it. We'll try the sun out, and then we can try the watermelon out too. What's great is you already have these elements created when you build them, so why not use them? Oh, what if it was a sun pattern? I don't know, that might be too much. we can always try that out later.
Yeah, why not? I love it. It's just so cute.
So there's a sun. Let's see what the watermelon looks. Oh, I didn't group it. That is one thing I love about Illustrator, that like people were asking yesterday, do you work on different layers? And I usually don't. I put all the artwork on one layer, but you can group things. So if I can grab this one, and it's nice because it all stays together. Yeah.
Cool. And Cody has a really cool idea. I think you could make the top part of the hat checkered like the sandals.
Yes, that's cool. So good.
And by the way, one more thing, in about 80 minutes, we have the artist spotlight, which means we're going to take a look at an amazing portfolio of an artist, and you can nominate others or yourself to be highlighted in this artist spotlight. Just go above the chat into the artist spotlight box. Just click on artist spotlight and you'll be able to nominate either yourself, feel free to do that too, or maybe some of your friends, maybe somebody from the chat, maybe somebody you recently discovered who is doing some amazing work and deserves the spotlight. So yeah, super excited to review some work by an artist in about 80 minutes.
Yes, I love looking around Behance for like different inspiration and just see what other people are doing. I'm usually very inspired by like the people that do stuff that's so different than me. I think, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could do it like that. But then I have to remind myself, like, I love their work for a reason, and I love it because it's like different than mine.
Yeah.
Let's try this checkers.
What I love about Behance is that you have all those case studies. So you have actual, long-term projects that you can see. And I love that case study format because it gives you so much more insight into a project, you know, compared to anything that's more on the visual side. For example, in Instagram, often we see visual, it's just a visual from the whole project. And you don't really have any background. So you don't really know what the project was about, what the designer was thinking while creating. Whereas on Behance, you really have really professional looking case studies, and you can really understand the thought process and the, you know, the background of the project better. So I love that about Behance. Okay, you're doing it. You're doing it.
We're going for it.
Yes. I love the watermelon.
I feel like it looks more like a logo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
The sun is happy, but it's probably sad because it's not on the logo anymore.
So you're gonna make it sad
just for a second, but then it's happy again because it's summer. we won't make it sad.
Love that.
It's been raining so much here. It would be nice to have the sun out.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Colorado, and Denver is known to be super sunny. So here you actually have to be careful with the sun because we're so high up. Gotta wear sunscreen all the time. Brittany's agreeing. Checker pattern top. Yay. Awesome. Nathan is saying the sun has commitment issues. I could also see that watermelon as a pattern on like a Hawaii shirt.
Oh, I would love that.
That would be so fun.
If I did get this printed as a fabric, I would love to sew it into one of those like really cute shirts. But yeah. I gotta find the skill of making a shirt instead of just sewing a bag, because I can sew bags. Oh, I can make a bag. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like a tote bag. Ooh, that'd be cool. Amy's saying the 90s are back with a furry and this hat is thriving in that zone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With a furry and this. Oh yeah, right. And big glasses. Yeah, we were talking yesterday about how this is so 90s, and we found out that we're both 90s kids. And we found out that a lot of people in chat were also 90s kids. So Cody's saying the checkered pattern reminds me of classic bands.
Oh yeah, I wore those to prom my junior year. I was like, I'm wearing Vans, and I wore the checkered ones. And
oh, nice.
I wish I didn't get rid of those, but I'm sure maybe my feet grew. I don't know. I have tiny feet.
Amy's saying I could see Dua Lipa wearing this also.
Oh, I love her. Oh my gosh, yeah. That would be amazing.
Imagine. That would be so cool.
I would cry. Maybe we'll keep it yellow. Maybe.
It looks so cool already.
We'll try this one thing real quick.
Oh, interesting question by Amy. What's your favorite 90s band, Carra and Julia? What's yours?
My favorite 90s band. Whenever people ask me what's my favorite song, literally every song that's ever existed leaves my brain. But if I had to think about it, so let's just throw back to when I was a kid and I was really into the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I liked them both pretty much the same. I know that's might be controversial because, you know, you're supposed to like one or the other, but Backstreet Boys fan for sure. And then of course the Spice Girls. Love
Oh my
Spice
God, the
Girls.
Spice Girls. And remember there was a Spice Girls movie?
Yes, I was so obsessed that they had like a boat, I mean a bus house thing, and Baby Spice had that really cool chair that she sat in, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that was
I love
such a
that.
funny. It's so funny.
I was a big fan of the Spice Girls. And I love the movie. I think I watched it like probably like 30 times. Whenever I had
Yes.
like friends over, we would always watch that movie.
Oh my gosh. We used to make up dances to like all these songs. I would go over to my friend's house
Yeah.
after school and we would like choreograph dances, which I'm not a dancer. We just did it because it was so fun.
Fun fact, I danced hip hop for several years.
What?
I know. I was I think like 14 till 16. I was like in those were those years. Dance hip hop with my friend.
That's
In
amazing.
Cody's saying I'm Team in Sync. Brittany's saying Spice World. Yeah, that's the name of the movie. That's true. Brittany's also in Sync. Summarize is saying Westlife. Oh my God, yes. Amy saying Spice Girls. Their outfits were so good. I want them. Yeah. Oh my gosh, those really short skirts and like colorful. I don't remember like what were they wearing, like leggings and stuff.
And then they had like really cool I don't know if you call them leotards, like onesies. I don't know what they're called, but they had really cool ones.
And like really low pants.
Oh yeah, the trend of the low-rise jeans.
Yeah.
Those were not comfortable. I think I tried on a pair recently and I was just like, I can't wear these.
Miss 60s. Do you know those?
Which ones?
Like a Miss 60?
No.
Oh man, it was like I think it was like around 2000 something. It was a big trend. There were also low-rise jeans, and yeah, everybody was obsessed. At least in Germany, everybody was obsessed with those. Cool. Furry's saying I look like an elf girl. Might be. I felt like an elf today, so every day I wake up, I feel like a different character. So today, yeah, feeling like a beachy elf. Cody
Yes.
saying lovely beachy waves. Yeah, definitely need me some beach. That's for sure. Hi Gus, good to see you.
Oh, hi.
Gus is saying, Carra, that shark tooth is so cool.
I love finding shark's teeth at the beach. That's something that's like a little family. This is kind of a nod to my family because we like growing up, we'd go to this one beach in South Carolina. So I grew up in North Carolina, but we'd go to a beach there and search for shark's teeth. And I have like somewhere in my office, I have actually a whole thing of shark's teeth. It's right on my desk over here that I found over the years, but we would find so many. I mean, of course, I was also scared to go in the water as well, but
oh man, yeah, if you find all those teeth, you're like, oh, there must be a lot of sharks here. Right? Gus is saying, been looking for them all week, no luck yet. Yeah, guys, it's really exciting to see all of your cool fishing trips. It's so fun. I love that. Cool. Yeah, Furry's also seeing. I saw you love fishing. Yay.
This little shovel is a lot harder to get with this blob tool, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen.
You know, there are some like super original shapes to things. There are different shapes to shovels, but this one is like such a classic, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny how over time we kind of memorize those kind of basic, generic, most seen shapes, right?
Yeah, your brain kind of, it's funny that, you know, like a heart is everyone's kind of symbolized version of a heart looks like this, when a heart is like, I don't know, It's an interesting, it's got like these other tubes.
Yeah, that's true. But I think, yeah, it would not be nearly as pretty if we would always draw real hard. Rebecca's saying, I grew up in Florida and also love to look for teeth.
What part of Florida? I lived in Florida for a little bit, but I never found shark's teeth where I lived. But maybe I didn't look hard enough there.
Rebecca, let us know where you're from. Where did you live, Carra?
I lived near Cocoa Beach in this place called Cocoa Village, and we could, from there, which was really cool, you could see the space shuttles. Like, I moved there when one of the last ones went off before they started doing them again, and I didn't know what the feeling of the ship leaving Earth felt like, and it started shaking. The ground was shaking.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at my roommate. I said, what is happening? Is this an earthquake? And she said, no, it's fine. It's just the shuttle leaving.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Is it on like the west side of Florida?
So it's on the east side.
On the east side.
And then on the west side, you'd have I have to like think of the map. You have like Tampa and all that.
Yeah,
we would go there occasionally. But oh yeah, wait. Did you say you're in Miami? So
I was, yeah, South Florida. Yeah, I was in Miami. I just moved to Denver like a week ago.
So we were like maybe we were near St. Augustine kind of, or that was like an hour away where I lived. Which I think is like 3 or 4 hours north of Miami.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I think I know now. Cool. All right. Rebecca says, I lived in Jacksonville. The part of the coast is curved inward and teeth collect there more. Makes sense.
I gotta go there.
Yeah. Yusuf is asking how much time to do that. I'm assuming you're talking about the artist spotlight, or what are you talking about? The artist spotlight, we still have another 60 minutes. 60 minutes. That means, yeah, 60 minutes. Carra, for you to come up with some really amazing stuff. I mean, this looks already like super amazing. I'm super excited to see how it's going to look like in a pattern. And then are you going to mock those up, or are you going to create the patterns? And then what's the plan?
So the plan is we're gonna work on finishing up these little gaps here in our pattern, using the pattern, I think it's called the pattern maker tool. It's our handy dandy tool. And then from there, I have a surprise little file over here where we're going to apply the patterns to one thing that the chat suggested yesterday, and then something that I wanted to illustrate. So we can see it in action. So it's not just going to be a pattern that exists on the computer. Well, I guess it still will just exist on the computer, but we can see what it would look like if someone were to make a product out of it.
Cool. Yeah, excited to see. I feel like, you can look at a pattern as much as you want, but once you really see it in action, that's when you kind of are like, wow, this is so cool. Cool. Josh has a very interesting question, saying, what are your thoughts on using the plastic molds for sandcastles versus DIYing it?
Ooh, I love the plastic molds because it's a satisfying experience to like pack the sand in and then have it come out. But I also loved growing up, we would make we called them drip castles. I don't know if y'all have heard of those.
Yeah, I've made those too. Yep. You take the wet sand and then you go like that, and then it drips down and then kind of dries up on the way, weirdly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what we used to do. I remember I think well, I don't want to say it was my mom or my dad. One of them taught me how to do it. Thanks, y'all. And I just was so amazed that the material could work that way. Like I was just like, how is this possible? This is so cool.
Yeah, how is that even going that way? And it looks so cool because it has those like drops made of sand, and then you can build really large structures without them breaking. It's kind of like naturally falls into place, so it's really stable after, especially when it dries. I love that. I feel like it's like the most low cost, one of the low cost or no cost toys that you can have for your children. Or like,
so true.
Or like a stick and a rope or something like that, or the simple things. I feel like that stuff was still really actively used in the childhood of the 90s kids, whereas I feel like these days it's not that common anymore that that parents teach something like that to their kids.
I know. I'm hoping. So we just had our son. Today's his 3 week. He's 3 weeks old. Oh my gosh. And I'm just excited to like. Well, I don't want to get emotional because it's like whenever I think about him, I get like teary eyed because it's so cool that we have a kid. I'm so thankful. But I'm so excited to have like a craft box because I grew up with one. If he doesn't like art, that's fine. It'll break my heart, but it's fine. But I grew up with a craft box, and it was like literally just like newspaper scraps and like things that we would do collages with, like anything that was thrown away. So probably all of my parents' junk mail and like stuff like that. And I'm hoping to have something like that just to kind of let that creativity flow and, get bored sometimes and not always look at a screen. I mean, I love looking at screens and making art on screens, but
you know what my mom used to do? A really cool tip, I think, for everybody who has kids. So my mom divided my toys in 2 parts, and for 6 months she would let me play only with one half of the toys, and then hide the other one. And after 6 months, she would swap them, and I would have a set of completely new toys that I felt like, I don't know. Yeah, it was always so fun. And then of course it would make it way more exciting to play with the new toys.
That is super smart. You can like making them feel new without having to buy a ton of different things. I love that.
Yeah. I think the simple things are the best, like Legos. I love Legos.
Maybe there's a watermelon Lego out there.
Yeah. Cool. Nathan, good question. So is the iconography of beach the same for European beaching? I feel like the US style is more classic boardwalky. What's a more German beaching hallmark? Is there one? I'm not sure. You're both like thinking. I think it's all kind of it's one of those things that are very cultural, right? I'm sure in different countries products look different, and also habits of being on the beach are different, right? In some countries you wear a bikini or a dress to the beach, whereas in some countries you are fully dressed, right? So it definitely depends on the culture and the habits that people have in the country. All right. Kimmy saying hoop and stick. Yay, the simple things in life. The simple pleasures. Cool. Corey's saying my 5-year-old is following along with you today. She made an awesome juice box in Illustrator. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
That's so awesome. Hi, Ravinder. Good to see you. Rebecca is saying building sandcastles was so serious. I feel like we were always searching for a major breakthrough in castle building. What? I don't know. Oh, what I don't know.
I love that. We used to dig really deep holes to get to the water. So like if you're close enough, it like starts filling up with water. And I always thought that was so cool too.
Yeah. Oh man, I spent so much time in the Ukrainian village. So we didn't have toys there at all. We would just like be out in nature, and like all there was cows and cow poop and grass and trees. So and bugs. So we would make the best out of it.
Oh, cows. We have a lot of cows around here, and it never gets old seeing them. They're so cute.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting how everybody kind of has their own childhood experiences. Oh, okay. Nathan is saying, I realize that's a tough one. Gaps like sauna, I lived in Finland. The way we frame leisure reality can be extremely different. I understand it's super hard to invent until you encounter it. Yeah, exactly. The way we sphere into cultures and overlap, it's very interesting. Yes, absolutely. And I feel like those shovels, those plastic shovels, they were kind of like a mass product that was, I feel like, all over the place, right? Once a kind of China started producing mass, consumer products like that, I feel like quite affordable, and that's why they were just spread all over the world. That's why we might all know the same things. Cool. Nathan is saying dacha life. Yeah. So dacha is basically like let's say like a village living. But yeah, okay. I don't want to dive deep into that, but there's something that's called silo. So silo is more of the village, and dacha is more of like a garden where you go on the weekend. And in the village you actually live, versus in the dacha you only have your leisure time. So some insight in the Soviet culture.
I could listen all day. I love learning. Like, it's just so, with our time, we are allowed to like contact people from pretty much everywhere and learn about like their lives, and it really puts into perspective a lot of things in a really, like, in a way that, forever ago we didn't have access to.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh is asking, aside from watermelon, what are your favorite beach snacks, Carra?
Cool Ranch Doritos, for sure. Like, I could eat those all day, although I like the sweet chili ones too. Those are really good. And my mom would make a snack called cheese straws. She would make those. Those were really good.
What is that exactly?
So it's literally like cheese and flour. You like melt it, kind of create a dough, and then you create a cracker, and it's a little bit spicy because we put some kind of spicy stuff in it, probably chili powder or something like that, and it's so good.
Nice. Awesome. Cody's saying Cheetos are one of my favorite beach snacks. That's so cool. It's interesting. See, I'm really used, from my background, we usually take like fruits or sandwiches to the beach.
What kind of sandwiches?
Just very simple ones, maybe with some meat and cheese, or cheese and tomato. Very simple, and mayo. Always mayo. I love mayo.
A summer tomato sandwich is so good too.
Yeah.
That's just so mayonnaise and tomato and some white bread. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good. Nathan is saying summer cottage life. Yeah. Brittany's saying the mustard yellow with the watermelon is reminding me of a video I just saw. Lizzo was eating a mustard on watermelon. I like watermelon as it is. Would you try it?
Mustard on watermelon.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I'm here to try most things as long as it's not toxic.
Right. Okay, if it was like a dare, I'll probably do it, but probably not for fun, not for, not out of curiosity, where I was like, I'm wondering if I put some mustard on this watermelon, will that be delicious? I don't think that will be me, but if everybody will be like, Julia, you have to try this. This will change your life forever, then I might do it. Leland is saying grapes that have been in the ice chest are the best beach snacks. Oh, grapes are awesome. Yeah, I love the green ones. Ooh.
Hi,
Seedless.
Leland. Leland's my friend.
Oh, cool. Leland, good to have you here. Cody loves tomato sandwiches, especially with homegrown tomatoes. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
We can't get through a stream without talking about food.
I know. I think we both are pretty much like foodies, because I feel like I'm very passionate about food and you seem very passionate about food too, and the chat as well.
I love talking about food.
Yeah. But I have to admit, it does make me hungry.
Yes. And it's hard when I will say my stomach will start growling if we start talking about it.
Yeah. Cool. Caitlin is saying, oh, did I miss what tool that was, where she uses the blob tool and then cuts the line under it?
Oh.
Can you show that real quick again?
Yeah. So this is my favorite tool. It's called the shape builder tool. So let me get this shape the way I want it. Okay. So I use this kind of as molding my my illustrations a lot. So it's Shift M, and that's the shape builder tool. And if you don't remember the short key, you can go over here, and it lives with the live paint bucket and the live paint selection tool. So if you can't find it, it's over here. You can hover, and then you select the two objects that you want to kind of slice and dice, and then you hit Option to take it off. So I'm gonna like draw on these, and then there you have it.
Yay! I feel like that's Carra's like secret spice in her illustration. Right?
I think it is. It really is.
Secret technique.
Yeah. I've used it in like pretty much every project I do. I somehow use the shape builder tool.
Any other cool tools that you love where you're like, wow, this, when I learned this has changed my life?
Let me think. Well, I love the symmetry tool in Photoshop, and I'm still trying to get used to the like mirror tool here in desktop, as well as on the iPad. I still haven't gotten it down to like the science that I normally have with like certain tools that I use a lot. I love those, but the symmetry tool is like my favorite in Photoshop. But in Illustrator, I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, I love global colors, something I talked about yesterday. It's so convenient. If say this pink, I'm kind of like, I'm not into this pink anymore, but I have this you have this like white triangle here. That means it's a global color. So I'll double click it. If you check this box right here, you can make it into a global color. And now if I wanted to change up this whole illustration and go with a pink, it changes it. Ooh, I do like that lavender though.
Whoa.
I better not like it too much because I'm about to change the colors for this. But you can preview it and change your color, and it will change it throughout your
only happy accidents, huh?
Right, exactly. Oh, what? Now I can't think of his name. Oh, Bob Ross, yes. Um, and you were talking about recolor artwork, which I haven't actually explored too much, and I want to learn more about that, but I haven't kind of
Cool thing about recolor artwork is that you can actually take an existing image, let's say some of your inspiration, maybe a photo, maybe another illustration that you kind of like the color palette from. You can pull it into Illustrator. It can be a JPEG file, JPEG format. And then you select your artwork, and there's a check mark. There's an option where you can adjust the color palette from that image to your illustration.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. After the stream, I'm going to play around with that.
It's fun. That's actually just got launched last year during Max. So we were all really excited about it. Yeah, cool. I would love to know who of you has used Illustrator on the iPad before. We've talked about it a little bit yesterday, and Carol was mentioning that sometimes when she likes to, be mobile and not be in front of her computer, she likes to draw or make things on the iPad as well, right?
Yeah, out and about.
Yeah. And Caitlin, you're right. The shape builder tool is very similar to the Pathfinder. And I feel like there could be, the shape builder person and the Pathfinder person, because technically what they do is they kind of cut things out from each other. It just depends what you're doing. I feel like for illustration, the shape builder really does make sense. And if you're designing, let's say, some really geometric logos that are kind of put together from geometric shapes that you overlap, and then you kind of take out all the different shapes in between. So it depends what you want to solve. Cool. Pooja is saying, I think all designers are foodies. Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? I have not met one person who is not a foodie. I think like all of my friends, they're super passionate about food. Everyone I know, I don't know a person who's like, yeah, I don't need to eat, like I don't care. So yeah, I guess you attract the same as you are.
The question is, would you in the future be someone who ate food in a pill form if it was optional? Like in Willy Wonka, what is it? The gum, the gobstopper or something that has different flavors. That wouldn't be enough. I would be sad that I couldn't enjoy a sandwich.
Or those futuristic movies where you put something into the microwave and it turns into food.
Yeah.
Like a whole meal. Yeah, I don't know. I see, the thing is, I really like the cooking part. I like cooking. That's my problem. So I don't think I could do that.
I love cooking too.
I can even like cook for others, not even eat as much myself, but I just really love the cooking and the different flavors and the smell. And and also when it gets a little bit hectic where you have to do multiple things at the same time and you feel like a professional chef.
Yes,
I love that.
I am not good at baking though, because it takes I like to do improv cooking, so I just cook with whatever we have. But if I have to bake, I'm not good at it, because it's like more of a science, and you can't be as sporadic like I am. I'm like, grab this, okay, let's add some honey, okay. And then with baking, it has to be like the precise measurements.
Yeah, baking is all about texture, right? If you don't get the texture right, you probably can't even eat it. Sometimes when like a cake turns out to liquid, it's not even good for you to eat it. So Whereas if you are making vegetables, for example, or proteins and vegetables, you can't really go wrong.
Right, I don't know if I like the shell, but we'll keep it for now. We'll see. I don't know if it's totally vibing. Maybe if I add the shark's tooth, it will vibe more.
Oh man, that's so sad. Caitlin is saying, I have a friend who only ever will eat chicken fingers and Sprite.
Oh no.
Ugh. That's not healthy. Nathan is saying, foodie or not, I'll eat questionable cold pizza left out overnight in the box without question. But with plenty of self-judgment. Oh man.
I love cold pizza. All right. I just did something that probably is everyone's like, what'd you do?
Yeah.
I clicked on, so I went up to my swatches panel where I've already created this pattern. But before I do that, actually, I'll leave these items in here and just kind of show you how you can get a pattern if you didn't get to see this yesterday. But okay, let's say you made these objects or whatever you want in a pattern and you're like, okay, how do I make a pattern? So you can select the objects you want, and let's just take these two right now. And you can go up to object, pattern, make, and then you hit okay, and it creates a swatch for you so you can start making your pattern. And there's tons of different options over here in your pattern panel. I think I remembered, I was like, what is this called?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you can choose, so it might be really small. I don't know if y'all can see this, but there's one that's called a grid. So that kind of does it like perfectly squared grid. And then you've got brick by row, which is like, it creates kind of a brick pattern. So you have them staggered, which with two objects is really nice because it kind of, it really like sets up the page for you. And then you have brick by column, which does it the up and down kind of way. But I feel like in this case, brick by row looks really nice. And then there are all these things you can explore. And then let's just go to brick by row real quick. And you can do size tile to art, or you can kind of start moving these around and move them with your arrow on your keyboard, kind of figure out the spacing you want. And then you can kind of play over here and figure out how those are spaced out. So from there, you clicked out, what happens? It's gone. All you have to do is go up to your swatches and double click on it and you can work on it. But right now, this area is a little too much going on. So I'm gonna move up to the gray area and work from here. So go here. And so we have some of our new little objects in here. And I'm gonna try to figure out where these can fit in.
Can you show again where you checked so that this box is flexible? And
yeah. So this right now says size tile to art. So you see how that's pushing all the art like this? That's if you have this checked right here, size tile to art. So if I don't want it to do that, let me go ahead and put it right here. So if I don't want it to do that and I just want to be able to move these, that's allowing me to kind of have some overlap. So if you look at some patterns, you'll see some designs you have things overlapping because you want it to look like that. And then otherwise I could also just not have it overlap. But I think this one I was working with brick by row, and I kind of want to come in here and make a little more space so I can do that. I've never really played with move tile with art. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Maybe
I guess if you move the whole, all of the objects,
they'll move with it.
The tile,
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But I'm not sure what the use cases there would be.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah. Did it not move? Oh, okay. Okay. So if you have it selected, it will move with the art. So if I'm moving the art, the box is moving with me. But if I have it not selected, it stays in one place. Mm-hmm. But I'm not quite sure, what I would use for that.
Yeah, same. But I'm sure there was somebody who was like, I need this to, be flexible, be moving around with my artwork because da, 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 da. And the cool thing about Adobe programs is that It's really user feedback based. So, every little thing, every little problem that users submit or realize there is a need for a solution, the Illustrator team and all the other teams, Photoshop and whatever teams you have, they all are really closely listening to the feedback of the user. So I'm sure there was some use case where that really made sense, the box to move with the art. Cool. How's everybody doing in the chat? Fairy saying, I remember back in my childhood, I made a bread without yeast and it turned out hard.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine that yeast is like they're like living organisms that eat the sugar and produce gas. And that's why you get the bubbles, the air bubbles in your bread.
And if you don't have them at the right temperature, they won't do it.
They will either die or they will not eat, which both means that the dough will be flat, right?
Yeah, I've made some pretty bad bread before.
Cool. James is saying, this is awesome. I just learned about patterns this week, so it's cool to see a nice example. Absolutely. Nice. And this is a great example, honestly, with all of these pretty complex illustration pieces that Carra has put together in a pattern. That's super cool. And now it looks like you're kind of trying to bring more dynamic into it and turning the objects. So some of them are a little bit more diagonal and some of them are, horizontal or vertical, so that you get this like pattern feel. And I think one of the things in a pattern that's important is that the objects kind of flow into each other, right? So they kind of like point towards each other.
Which sometimes works out perfectly, and then other times you have a gap and you're trying to solve the problem. I can't figure out how to fill this gap in. Let's see.
It's all about a little bit of time.
These I like that the straw and the glasses kind of create this little shape together. And then you have these straight lines kind of working off of each other. So it looks like this spot, so this spot right here, which maybe the shell will do it. So I just clicked out and I'm gonna grab.
And your swatch is saved, right? So your pattern is with the swatch and now you're adding the shell into the
pattern. So when you click out, so anytime you click out, or I usually kind of double click out of the pattern, it's saved up here. And then you can also, if you wanted to work on a variation of that, all you have to do is hit the plus sign up, have it selected and hit a plus sign, and it'll make you a new swatch. And so like if we wanted to call this watermelon to, you could work from this layer and kind of move the objects around to you. And that way, if you ended up liking the first version, you can go back to that. But you also have this other version to explore.
Awesome. And another quick reminder, in about 30 minutes, we have the artist spotlight. So feel free to submit, submission, recommendation, any artist that you want to be highlighted, or you can also submit yourself. That also is a quite possible option. And to do that, you can head over above the chat where it says Artist Spotlight, click onto that, fill out the form, and you might be one of the next artist spotlighters. Artists that are spotlighted. My tongue is twisted today. Yeah, okay, cool. And so in 30 minutes, we're going to be looking at one of the artists.
I'm excited to see the work.
Yeah, me too. And James is saying, yeah, I think I have a better sense of the workflow I'd use for pattern creation. Yeah, totally agree. Now, Carra is doing a really amazing job, kind of really going step by step in a very comprehensive process. Yeah, patterns are not easy. Definitely not easy. You have to think about the shapes, you have to think about the color, you have to think about, you know, where might be too much detail. You know, some spots have more vibrant pattern, like let's say the check pattern is quite has quite a lot of contrast, so you want to kind of balance that out as well. So yeah, definitely creating a pattern is a challenging work.
It is a lot, you know, it's I recently had to do something for a client that was a pattern, and I found myself just so surprised that it was so much more challenging. So I'm like so much, not that I didn't already have respect for pattern designers, but I'm like, y'all are amazing, because this is a challenge to make something feel so natural, and like, you know, they make it look so simple, but it's actually, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's all about that balance.
Oh, I forgot a shadow on the hat, but I can add that. I can add that later. So it looks like we have this one spot right here that needs something. Let's see. So if I click out, I'm clicking out right now, and that swatch is saved. So right here is our updated one. So this is a live kind of swatch situation right here. And I do this over here so I can kind of see how it looks outside of the gray background. And something I recently discovered, and I didn't know how to do before I actually Googled it, is adding a color to the background. So I think there's a way to do it within the pattern swatch, but I haven't figured it out fully yet. So if you want to add a color to the background, you can go up to appearance, the appearance panel, and add a fill below your swatch here. And I didn't even know this was a thing, which I'm pretty excited about. And you can change the color and play with it that way. I ended up really liking the pink, but I think I might actually add, I don't know, we had this lavender. I'm just gonna put that in there just to have, just in case. Oh, it's so bright.
Oh, but yeah, it is really bright.
I could bring that down. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe another day. That could be for some, oh yeah. I was really into purple recently, but that is, whew. Although it does feel like a video game, it's kind of fun. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. You got to try things out, and
maybe you can create different variations of it. One with a more vibrant background, one with a more subtle.
Yeah. And maybe when we apply stuff on the next screen, we can change the colors on those.
Yeah. I was wondering if inside the pattern swatch, you can just put a rectangle background color, just to place a rectangle underneath the objects. Is that possible?
So there's one thing I tried. So let's see, let's try this. Let's grab a color here. Let's grab this purple. And then I tried to fit it on here, and then wait, let's see. But it does this thing where it cuts off some of it. Oh. And I haven't fully figured it out yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it's something very specific that needs to be addressed ASAP. Illustrator team.
I think it might be, I think if you start off with a swatch in the background while you're working, it works. But if you go in before, it doesn't. I still haven't figured out, but I have gotten, I've gotten files with a swatch that has a background color, and I'm like, how did y'all do that? teach me how you did that.
Cool. No, but this is awesome. I mean, and then what I found a little bit challenging in the beginning is the scaling of patterns.
Yes.
But I'm sure we're gonna get into that in a little bit once we kind of apply to the shape, because that's another challenge.
Yeah, the scale, and also depending on your object. Let's see, I added the black there. I don't know. Do y'all like the black on the shell, or do we like it in the yellow?
Let us know in the chat, black or yellow.
I can do an example over here. Yeah, for the scale too, that's also hard. So the pattern I was working on was applied to a garment, and having to figure out the size of the pattern is pretty difficult when you don't have the actual piece of clothing right with you, and you can't really picture how big the pattern should be. So you kind of have to like play with it. Oh yeah, the black might be a little too harsh. I don't know. Maybe it's a little too much.
It's a lot of contrast. It almost looks like a thread, kind of. You know, when you like doing something with a thread like that.
Yeah. I just got the spinning wheel and it made me nervous for a second. My heart dropped, but everything's good.
I had that yesterday when my computer decided has to take a break.
I got nervous there for a second. Are we time-wise? I want to make sure if I can draw this, I can maybe add one more thing to our pattern.
We have about 25 minutes until the artist spotlight, and then you'll have another about 15 minutes.
Amazing. Okay, so let's do the shark's tooth. Let's add that in there, you know, and
fill the space, right?
Yeah, let's try to fill. I'm bummed that this space is a little bit more horizontal, but maybe I can like put the shark's tooth somewhere else and put the shovel in the horizontal space.
Sure.
We shall see.
We shall see. Mark is saying, this is great resource for creating materials for Adobe Dimension product visualization. For your information, I found a great resource on Amazon for Dimension, Adobe Dimension Beyond the Fundamentals. Amazon, it seems to be like a book, maybe. I always think it's kind of difficult to have a book about such a quick developing program like Dimension. And I can tell you, it's just, I don't know how much I can talk about it, but I've been kind of part of a program where I've been testing the future versions of Dimension and what it can do. And I can tell you there's so much improvement coming. And there are so many cool things you can learn to do there. And rendering is going to be just amazing. So just a quick kind of insight into the Adobe world, but Dimension is going to be very soon, very further than it was, very much further.
And I love 3D, or like, I wish I could take my illustrations and make them 3D. I try to learn a little bit, but it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I gotta maybe leave it to the people who are like really good at it, and maybe collaborate with someone. I've got a friend that does 3D like illustrate. I don't know what you even call it, 3D illustrations. I might try to get them to take some of my work and turn it into 3D.
Yeah, that's cool. And I'm sure you can also apply patterns. I have to research about that, but it would be cool to kind of see the pattern on a 3D object, for example, to kind of get an idea. And I know there are various 3D models that are fabric-like, so you can even preview it on fabric looking materials. And I think what Mark is talking about is material creation, actually. So you can actually create your own materials that you can then apply to 3D objects, which is really exciting as well. It's like you have the 3D object, you can create the 3D object, but really doesn't have no material. It's just a hollow object without any depth, if that makes sense. It's a little hard to explain, but so the next step to that is applying a material to that shell that you have, that virtual shell basically, And that's where you can kind of create your own materials or apply any materials in Dimension. It's super fun. And there's so many upgrades coming, especially in materials and textures and all of that stuff. Cool. Isn't there a way to place your pattern on a shape in a 3D sense? Yes. I'm not sure about a pattern. I think you will have to rasterize it or expand the pattern into a vector format. So basically, you would have to translate the pattern into the vector format. So it's not a repeated object anymore. It's a little complex, but basically you will have to kind of make it a little bit more easier to understand for the 3D software. And then you can save it to your CC libraries and easily apply to 3D objects. By the way, Dimension is super easy to start with. If you're a little 3D shy, it's a good software to start.
How did you know? I am 3D shy.
I was 3D shy, very much. That's studying industrial design. Everybody was super into 3D software, and I feel like that was kind of the tool that was used the most to visualize ideas during my studies. And I was really 3D shy. I used to sketch a lot, but at some point you kind of are on the boundary of, okay, I have to learn 3D. But then the software was so complex and so difficult to understand and not comparable to anything I knew before, which Dimension is really similar to any of the programs that you already know from Adobe. That's a cool thing. And to be honest, Dimension kind of brought me back into the 3D world after I quit my industrial design studies. All right. Yes, James, you definitely should try Dimension. And if you have the Creative Cloud subscription, you have it accessible for free anyway, so why not try? Brittany is asking, if you decide to use this pattern on a project, what's the best way to get it printed for wallpaper or fabric?
For wallpaper or fabric? I know one of the coolest things I wish existed when I was in school for design is all these companies online that will take your art and you can get them anything custom printed, which is so cool. I don't know any specific websites. I'm one of those people that has all the intentions to like take my art and get it printed or made, but then it just ends up living on my computer forever and ever. But I would say if you wanted to print some of your patterns or anything you've made, Google like custom prints or something like that. Custom pattern prints.
I would definitely use Google as well. Google is your best friend. Whatever you want to know, Google knows it. We were talking about it yesterday, right? How you don't have to know everything because you have Google. Google knows everything.
And sometimes they know it before you know it. They're like, yes, I know you were thinking about watermelon. That's why here's some ads for watermelon.
Wait, were you getting watermelon ads?
No.
Not yet.
But it will happen now that I've spoken into the world.
Yeah. Thanks, Cody, for sharing Carra's Instagram. Make sure to check out her Instagram. She has some wonderful work on there that you can check out. Make sure to follow her. Cool. And also check out her Behance.
Yes. If you follow me on Behance, you'll get a notification whenever I go live, which right now with new kid is a lot less than I used to. But at least, when I dust off the spider webs, you'll get a little notification. Carra Sykes is going live, probably making something as silly as this.
Cool.
There's this
Hi,
space.
Santosh. Welcome.
We've got one little space left. I can't figure out what should go there.
There is always this one little space, right? And then you get more and more into detail, and then you find smaller and smaller spaces. What I usually do is I create like little tiny graphic elements, like little stars or little circles, and fill those in.
I should do that.
Maybe those could be like watermelon seeds or something.
Yeah, like
you can fill it into the gaps, or little coconuts, something. Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly draw this little shadow here, since everything else has a shadow, and the hat feels like it needs a shadow, feels left out. Thankfully, the hat is still smiling, and the sun is too. So we are doing good.
Awesome.
All right.
Nathan is asking, do you salt your watermelon?
My grandfather used to do that. He salted the, I guess, what are those called? The orange melons. What are those called?
Oh yeah, honey melon, right?
Yeah,
honey
or
is that
honeydew and cantaloupe. That's what it is.
Oh, cantaloupe. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
He used to salt that, and it tastes y'all. It tastes better. I did not think that was possible, but because you're like, I guess it wakes up the sweetness or something. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of salt on fruits. I know in India, for example, they do that everywhere. So if you get like, and by the way, in India, they have those amazing pineapple stands where you can go and pick your pineapple, and then they'll cut it for you. And they usually put some type of spicy salt on it. And it's a thing. It's a thing.
That sounds really good. I just bought some of kind of the spicy salt stuff and put it on mangoes. It tastes really good. I used to not put salt on my fruit, and then recently I tried that and I was like, this is really good. I need to get some for myself so I can make it at home.
That's cool. Cool. Amy's saying, my grandpa who grew up in Kansas sugared his homegrown cherry tomatoes. It's actually so good. Wow. Wow. Homegrown cherry tomatoes must be so sweet already. And then with sugar, that must be extra sweet. I've actually never tried sugared like vegetable like that before.
Somewhere on, I think it was TikTok or something, or what is it? Reels. I saw someone, you put sugar on a cucumber and it tastes like a watermelon. And I did try it, and it does taste like a watermelon.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Amy, and that's something I was also about to mention, like it's also in Hispanic culture, and you're mentioning Mexican fruit stand vendors in LA do mango with lemon, lime, and add tahini. Yes, I have seen that a lot too.
Oh, tahini, that stuff's good.
Yeah. Half of my family is Hispanic, so we all do all of these things.
We're so close to filling that spot.
I know, right? Maybe turning the glasses? No, I don't know. I don't know. Just an idea.
Let's see.
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Is this one? I always, and this is cool too. So if you're moving it around, what I like to do is kind of keep my eyes up here instead of where I'm moving it, because then you can see it as a bigger picture. So like, it kind of allows yourself to like step back and view it as a whole. I don't know if y'all do that. Y'all make faces at your computer where you're just kind of like squinting to see if it looks balanced.
But, or zooming out.
Yeah.
Or just removing yourself further away. So you're not actually zooming out, you're just physically zooming out.
Oh, maybe. Wait, we did fill in the spot. I think this might be it. I think we filled it in.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks great.
We'll click out of that. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it does look balanced.
And I guess the one thing, well, I can get really picky because that's what I do sometimes. Maybe we can see the shark's tooth in a few different colors. Oh, I don't know. So one cool thing about shark's teeth when you're out, I don't know if there's other shark's teeth hunters out there, but when you are out and about, there's some that you find that are like a lighter color, and that means that they've been out, they've been in the wild a lot less than the ones, like if you find the fully black teeth, those are like, I think the ones that are the most fossilized. So when you end up finding like lighter colored ones, it's exciting because you know that it was a more recent, I guess like tooth extraction. I don't know, tooth falling out of a shark. But in actually after storms, when the water kind of like pushes up onto the beach, you're more likely to find them because they've been kind of brushed ashore, which is really cool too.
Yeah, Brittany, great tip, tilting your head. Always catch myself doing that. You can either tilt your head, or sometimes logo designers who are trying to understand kerning and typography, they turn it around. They turn the word around, because sometimes we see letters and we kind of want to go away from that and see it more of, in terms of white space. So sometimes it makes sense to like turn things around so you don't really look at the object itself anymore, but can concentrate more on the actual white space around it. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, like when I was learning portrait illustration, they would say turn the person upside down to make sure that things looked like you weren't seeing it as a face anymore. Yeah, you were seeing it as like elements, and then you figure out if things were out of place or not.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. So tilting your head, physically zooming out, turning things around. All great tips here to find the right balance in the white space. Cool. Hi, Akshaya just joined. These are so cute. Yay. And we have the artist spotlight in only 7 minutes. So excited. If you have not submitted anyone yet or yourself, make sure to do that in the artist spotlight, and then you might get the chance to be featured and to be presented in one of the future streams. Cody saying flip the canvas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't there a short key in Photoshop, at least, that people use to kind of like see their art in different ways?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure there are so many things you can do in Photoshop. I feel like Photoshop is like the grandpa of Adobe software, of design software.
I remember the first time I used to have the Photoshop Elements, the like smaller version of it growing up, and I loved editing photos. And and if I looked back at those photos now, I'd be like, what were you doing? But it was just so fun to just see how you could take a photo and play with it. And then now it's funny because I do illustrate there sometimes. And I don't really do much with photography anymore, but yeah, good memories from Photoshop Elements.
Yeah, I used to retouch my photos and like edit, like create like those flipped colors and black and white and like sepia versions of my photos, or sepia, how do you say that?
I don't know how to. I always go
sepia.
I don't know. I'm probably the worst to ask because I pronounce everything so differently.
Your own way. Cool. Cody's saying you have to create a custom action to flip the canvas. There isn't a preset shortcut. Oh yeah, did you know you can create your own shortcuts in Illustrator? How cool is that?
What?
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to Google that too after this.
And you can, if you find any of the shortcuts not suitable for you, or maybe uncomfortable to use, you can edit all of the shortcuts that you have set. If you go into Illustrator and then settings, I believe, and then go into shortcuts, you'll be able to adjust those. Kimmy's saying artboard rotation has been added to Illustrator.
Oh,
I wasn't sure
for desktop or just for the.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I was allowed to talk about it, but anyway.
Because I know it's on the the Photoshop. I'm getting them.
I mean, it is
on the iPad.
It is in the current version of the iPad already. So yeah. So I'm sure it's okay if we talk about it. But yeah, so it's been added to the newest features where you can turn the artboard while creating, for example, illustrations. And it does make sense on the iPad because when you're drawing a curve, you do need a specific angle of your arm to really create that perfect curve, right? So it does make sense.
That is something I loved about the new on the iPad, being able to do that, because it feels as though you're drawing on paper. And so coming from kind of a background of illustrating on paper or in a sketchbook, it's really intuitive kind of in that way to turn the paper. And I actually do find myself hitting R on here as my shortcut on Illustrator. I'm like, oh wait, I'm not in Photoshop. What am I doing? But yeah, it's something on the iPad. It's really nice.
Yeah, and it's the June release, so literally this month. Uma Karan, thanks for the info. Paul mentioned it today earlier. Yeah, Paul is one of our evangelists, so Paul knows everything. He knows everything around like Illustrator, Photoshop, probably also Lightroom. I'm not sure what else Paul does. He kind of like does a little bit of everything. Paul knows a lot. Paul is a very knowledgeable guy. Cool. And we have 2 minutes left until the artist spotlight. Super excited. And by the way, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, just trying out a few different colors just to see what happens. I still love this one, I think, the most, but
yeah, that's what I usually do. So if I have a design and I'm like, I need to experiment with some colors, I copy and paste, add the color, copy and paste, add another color, and then just see them in comparison. Oh, I love that pink. That pink looks cool. It's so vibrant. It kind of builds up the contrast to the more subtle pattern colors.
I'm curious if people keep their artboard or their files clean, because mine are always just all over the place.
Yep, same.
Although I'm organizing that. It's because people are watching.
Yeah. We are watching you. Carra, you better keep it organized.
Copy and paste in front will be your best friends. So on a Mac, it's Command C. And then if you want to paste it exactly where it is, Command F. But if you just want to paste it, it's Command V and it pastes there. That way you don't have to like go all the way up to, I don't even know what if it's under edit. Yeah. Edit. You don't have to go up to your toolbar up here. You can just do it within your keys, which is really nice.
Super cool. Ferry's asking, what does evangelist mean? It means, so back then, or a couple years ago, there is a group of Adobe people who would travel a lot and give presentations, introduce new features. So basically they call them evangelists, but not sure if they even call them that way anymore. But basically those are a bunch of very proficient designers and artists who are very familiar with Adobe software and who work for Adobe. So they are the pros, basically. All right. It looks like we're going to do the artist spotlight right now. And let's jump onto my screen and let's check out who we've got today. Carra, after this, you'll have another about 15 minutes, I guess. So, all right. So, my friends, today we have Filipa Gomez. And today we're going to check out Filipa's amazing work on Behance. Feel free to go check her out yourself on your device. But Filipa has some poster work, some looks like photo composition. How do you say photo compositions? Compositing. Yeah, photo composite. Yeah, that's right. And some illustration. We have Inktober. We have some portraits here illustrated. So Carra, you're the guest of honor. What would you like to see first?
Oh, okay. Let's look at posters. We'll go to the original posters volume 1 because I love posters and I used to put them all up in my room growing up.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Ooh. Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was like, ooh, look at the cover image. I love how Filipa is kind of showing some of the posters already up here. And we have the first poster up here.
Shiny.
Just like heaven. The Cure. Oh man, I was thinking this could be an amazing album cover. The Cure, and it is. It is kind of.
I'm so curious.
Could be.
Did they do Photoshop? It says Photoshop up there. Did they do any other tools? Is it when you can highlight? I don't know.
It says Photoshop.
Photoshop. Awesome. I love that. I love that they put the stuff up top. I've never even thought to put like the whole collection up top and then show everything else below it. Like with a cover image. That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I also love all the grainy texture around here. And we have more texture as we go further to the edges. We have this, wow, amazing composite over here with clouds, and it's all bling here. Let's see. Yeah, if I can zoom in. This is so cool. I love that. It looks so retro, like Prince album cover.
I don't even know where to start on how to do that. That's so cool.
Yeah, it looks very realistic, like metal, right? Metallic effect. I love that. All that texture in the background. It's so awesome. There are scratches. There are, there's noise. There are like fold, like something that looks like a fold almost. Super cool. Love it. Love it, Filipa. Awesome. Wait, let's see what we got else here. French Exit, an album by TV Girl.
Wow. Cool. That feels 90s. If we're on the topic of 90s, that feels super like.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I love it. Cool. I can totally see this as like an album cover.
Whoa. The portraits on that.
Yeah. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in here. Oh, there we go. Cool. An album by Lana Del Rey. So cool. I love it. Again, we have tons of texture here. And that's I don't know what it's called. It's like an effect that's applied here. Almost looks like a painting, like liquidified. Not even sure how to call it, but it's so cool how the texture flows here.
It reminds me of like Starry Night,
Oh yeah,
like a Van Gogh kind of.
like a Van Gogh painting. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, brush strokes. Cool. Love that. Some amazing work. Let's see what else we've got. Queen, David Bowie.
Oh.
This is so cool. I love the colors. Definitely under pressure. See, posters are all about communication. And here there is a message, right? Under pressure. And Filipa is showing this feeling of under pressure using type. How cool is that? I absolutely love this.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Like, you can feel the pressure being squished. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Love it. What's next? Posthumous Forgiveness by Tame Impala. Ooh, I love Tame Impala. Oh, Tame Impala. Oh, it's one of my favorites. Cool. I love how here's some lyric also implemented.
Cool. It'd be really cool to see these printed out and like plastered to a wall, just like at a venue or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, love the colors here. Love this beige tone. It's like such a nice, comforting color. Cool. Again, tons of texture. Great job. Surfaces, feeling good, like I should. Feeling good. You know that song?
No. Who's it? Is it a band called Surfaces?
Like I should. I think so. I'm not sure about the band name. I just know the song. Maybe it's not even the song, but I know a song that goes like this. Tara in the chat is saying, terrific work, Filipa. Yeah, I totally agree. Awesome.
I love that yellow.
Yeah, and Netco is saying, Filipa has done an amazing job. I'm impressed by the use of texture and noise, not to mention the composition skill as well. Such talent. Yeah, absolutely agree. This is so nice. Dancing Queen.
Young
See, that's the goal. If you get that vibe of the song, of that music, you definitely are on the right path. I love this effect of as if it was folded. You know how posters sometimes get folded and then put into like a magazine or something?
Like the old magazines, there was like a teen bop or something like that had the posters on the inside, and you would be so bummed that it was like creased, but then now looking at this, I love the creases.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I had so many posters in my room back when I was a teen.
Another ABBA. I love ABBA. Oh my gosh. I listened to them so much in middle school, like nonstop. I love.
Yeah. Love that. Gimme. Yeah, I love the colors again. And yeah, the work with texture, Filipa, honestly, you're nailing it so well. Great. Love it. Ooh, again, Tame Impala. Love that. Yeah, their album covers are always very graphical. I love that. Currents, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, the actual Currents album cover also has like colorful waves, and then there is like a ball in those waves, so the waves kind of go around it. And a similar thought was applied here as well, kind of like creating these waves. And we have some balls here too. Cool. Also, I love Filipa's logo. Check this out. It's so cute. It looks so nice. Designed by Filipa.
That's awesome. It looks like, I don't know if you've seen posters like for movies and stuff, and it has like the company that created it, but that's like, yeah. It feels like that. It feels super official, which is really cool.
I agree. It looks very professional. Is there life on Mars? David Bowie, classic. Cool. I love that. I love that. Also, composition wise, when putting together a poster, you want to make sure to have a certain flow, right? So here we have this big planet up here, which kind of catches your attention right away because it's kind of the brightest spot on the poster. And then you kind of have the rocket, which directs towards the text. And then it's such a nice flow, right? So you go kind of like this and then down the text. Very nice.
And the colors too, like with the complementary colors, just feels so good.
Yeah, absolutely. David Bowie, Space Oddity.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that. I love the contrast here between the red and the blue. And then it's repeated in all of the elements that are composed together. Electric feel. Yay.
Oh yeah, that's a throwback song there.
Yeah.
I love the color amoeba thing. It's so pretty. It's like marbled paper kind of.
Yeah, I love that. It's so cool. Immunity.
Whoa. Oh, Claro. Yes.
I love how the tracks are described. It's very simple, but so functional. And so beautiful, and it works so well with everything else around.
Yeah, this layout is gorgeous.
Yeah, love that.
Whoa.
Nectar. Cool. Yeah, this project is definitely amazing. Filipa, you're doing an amazing job.
I'm amazed at how many posters you've made, and just to like,
right?
they all have different vibes, which is impressive in itself to like, make one poster. But this is, I don't even know how many we've looked at, but I'm so impressed. Yeah, I love those rainbow vibes. Cool.
Yeah. Super cool. The academic. Tales from the backseat. Cool. I love that. It's like a juice or lemonade stand. Reminds me of like a lemonade stand.
It looks like something, a stand at the fair.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I love that. LJ. Oh, I love LJ. Yeah, and the colors. Look at the colors. This is great. Cool. Awesome work. Awesome work, Filipa. Thank you so much for submitting, whoever submitted Filipa's work. It was amazing to take a look at those amazing posters, and I'm definitely gonna check out more from volume 2, and feel free to do so as well. Feel free to go and check out Filipa's work yourself. Make sure to follow, and yeah, get some inspiration, get inspired to create your own.
I feel so inspired to try to play with textures more because
Yeah.
it's like I feel like textures is kind of intimidating if you don't do it much, but seeing kind of how they explored it, I'm like, okay, I can try it out. I can try this out. I feel inspired. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
all right. I think
All
let's
right, where
take
are we at?
let's
Where process?
take let's see. What colors? I do kind of vibe with this pink one. I like the original color. And maybe we
Yeah.
can have some suggestions if anyone likes a specific colorway. Let me try one more and then we can take it to our top secret next
Yeah.
page. Just kidding.
I also love the orange. The orange looks so like it fits so well with it, you know? It builds up the contrast as a background,
Let me
but
see.
also it doesn't contradict that old school vibe, you know?
Let's try out another orange as well. Let's see.
Let us know in the chat what you all think. What are we gonna call that rosé? Like, is it like dirty rosé? That color? I'm not sure.
This one would be like, I don't know. This one's like bright pink. This one is blush.
Not blush. Okay, let's call it blush. So we have blush, we have green, we have pink, we have dark orange and light orange, right?
This
Or are you
one
gonna
seems a
change
bit
that
bright.
one?
I think I might change this one. let's see. Let's preview.
Brittany's saying we need Philippa to do a live on her poster process. Yeah, absolutely. Adobe Live team, are you listening? Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see that, definitely.
Maybe I'll try
And
blue.
And Cody, thanks for sharing Philippa's link to the Behance. Make sure to check out Philippa's profile. Cool. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So we have another 9 minutes left. And I can't wait to see the patterns on the mock-up or on the secret ingredient that you prepared for us. Talking about food.
we will transfer to that page. All right, I'm gonna take all of these with us just to have them, but and that way I'll have the colors in the palettes. But here we have our little beach scene. I'll put these around here.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so fun. This is like the grand finale. The cherry on top.
Cherries would be fun to add to the pattern.
Oh, right. As the small details. Oh, but it's okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do here is I've kind of created these as, a lot of people will use actual objects. So you can get an image of take an image of an umbrella and then kind of create it in Photoshop and then be able to apply this pattern there too. Or I wanted to just illustrate some things. So like this chair, and then someone suggested an umbrella yesterday. So I did that as well. So we can kind of see it in the wild, what it would look like existing out there. So there's a few pieces here that are going to have the pattern. It'll be this one. I'm actually going to take this over here. And so I'll be applying the pattern to these pieces and to the umbrella. And then what I'll also show y'all how to do is to scale it, because earlier Julia was talking about scaling them. And, like this pattern right here is probably a little too big for this. It might work out for the umbrella, but sometimes you need to scale the size of the objects that you have. So I'm going to click on all of these actually and go up to my swatches panel. Oh, I have watermelon 2 on there too. Uh-oh, I don't know which one's the correct one. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. It's the second one. Okay. So now you're like, they're clear. Why is it clear? Well, I have to go in and we're gonna have to go to appearance and update that. So this is how, so you see these two right here, you click on this one and you have a fill and you're going to drop it below the pattern. And then I'm going to come up to, I think, so there's the blue.
Oh, that looks so nice. I love that.
And then I'm going to add like this little shadow over it so it feels like it bends. And we're going to work on that in just a second, which I just realized because these should be connected. So I'm going to connect these actually.
By the way, in the chat, we have suggestions for blue, and Cody's saying blue as well. And Paloma also likes the blue, and Cody also likes blush. So majority so far is blue.
The surprise color at the end. That I feel like that happens so much.
Yeah, that's true.
You feel stumped for a while and then you add a color at the end and you're like, that's it. That's the color. So we had, what were the colors again? It was blue and we had
the blush, green, blue, pink, and orange.
And let's see, we can play with those. Maybe let's make the umbrella.
Oh yeah, so sorry. I thought you asked me about all the colors that we had. But yeah, majority so far is blue. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll stick to that for now. Let's see, let's grab this and let's make this one blue. And then I do this thing where I have shadows. Sorry if y'all start to hear someone is working on the lawn over there. But it might not be loud. It might not be too loud. Okay.
I can hear it.
So there's kind of what it's looking like. So I like this size on here, but let's change the size on here. So what you do is you select your pattern, and I've got to make sure that it's picked here instead of the fill here. So what I'm going to do is go up to Object, Transform, and Scale. And oh no, it scaled my seat. So what you have to do is click off of Transform Objects. And so here you're able to, I don't know what it's doing there, but I'll have to fix that. So it's at 40%. So you can make it really tiny, or you can make them really, really, really big, depending on the scale. I think for this, probably something around this size would be good. And I can zoom in on this too. So I'm gonna hit OK, and I'm gonna zoom in. So now we can kind of see.
Oh my gosh, it looks so realistic. I love it. It's so cute.
Something here. I wonder, oh, okay, I know what I did wrong here. So what I'm gonna have to do is delete that. And there we go. So you get your little chair filled. And then what you can do here is, let's just say we're like, oh, well, we actually like the green better. So you go over here and you can change it.
That's so cool.
Whatever color, say it's just a line of chairs and we wanted to do that. So we'll keep the chair green for now. And I'm gonna go over to this one, and I think we need to rescale that too. So transform, so click on your object that has the pattern in it, and then you go to, but right now it's on fill here. So you have to make sure you are selected on the pattern, or else it's not gonna change the size. Object, transform, you can do, we'll do scale first, and then I'll show y'all, you can actually move your pattern around. So let's just say, since it's a bigger object, maybe something about this size. So it's a little bit bigger on there. I'm gonna hit OK. And then what I'm gonna do is go back up to Object Transform, and I'm gonna hit, let's do Rotate. So you can actually, so Transform Objects is off and only Transform Patterns on. And what I can do is I can twist the pattern in different directions. So if you needed
a really
to,
great tip.
Yeah, and if you, so like this, maybe it doesn't make sense for this because it's pretty straight up and down, but you have the option to do it. And if you just want to get really, just go really fun and have the whole pattern upside down, you can do that too. Or you can have it and say, nope, cancel, and have it there. But it's fun to play around with the different sizes and things like that. And then say you're looking at your pattern, and this feels pretty realistic with this shadow here, or illustrative realistic. I wouldn't twist this one, but if it was on another object, I don't know if we drew like a, I don't know, like a beach ball or something. Whoa. We have our pattern here. So you can, it's pretty exciting once you make it. Yeah, you can do anything you want with it. Like, I don't know, it can exist as a circle or something like that. I don't know. Let's see, let's add, I don't know, this maybe needs to be a little darker. So we have a bit of a shadow there. And there you have it. There's our little like umbrella scene. You can mix this up, change it up any way you want. We could even go for, I don't know, this bright yellow, you know, it's whatever.
That's so cool. It's fun.
Whatever colors you want. Yeah. We'll see what a gradient would look like. Possibly interesting. I don't know. So you've got all these different options. I want to get this pink though. Let me grab these colors real quick from this other one.
Love it. Nathan is saying might be fun to have it pivot like that reactively on a mobile phone when you tilt the mobile phone. That would be super cool.
How do people do that? How do they do that? I know there's like, I've seen people do like, what is it called when in design, when you do it in websites, it's parallax.
Like responsive?
Yeah, I love when websites do that kind of like, when you're scrolling and
parallax
then
scroll. Parallax scroll. Yeah. So when you scroll, something sticks to the background or to the screen, and some things are moving. Yeah, I love that too. That's super fun. All right, Carra. So it was great to see your progress so far. Thanks everybody for joining us today. And if you haven't watched day one, feel free to rewatch it. Feel free to design your own. Make sure to tag us in your posts, and make sure to tag Adobe Live if you're producing something, if you're putting something out on Behance. It's a chance for you to be seen. Why not? Carra, thank you so much for enlightening us with so much inspiration and so many really cool tips and tricks in Illustrator. Any last things you want to say?
Thank y'all so much for having me. I had a great time. I'm gonna eat watermelon. And yeah, just be kind to yourself when you create and have a good time.
Thanks everyone. Have a nice day and stay tuned for the next show. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.